Hey, Jeffrey here with Tracking Wonder. I've been observing that there's often a moment in just about every career when a person's competence can slip into a sort of unspoken comfort. This can be true for a leader, innovator, professional, all of whom I've worked with, including myself. And you might know the feeling. You start to feel capable, maybe even exceptional, masterful in your domain. And strangely enough, as you become genuinely confident in your expertise or mastery of a domain, that's just when openness gets harder to access. Openness is the ability to see things freshly. It's the capacity to be receptive mentally, emotionally, experientially receptive to new ideas, new sensations and insights and new perspectives, all without immediately judging or dismissing those new insights or perspectives. Openness is this willingness to notice what is present, even if it's uncomfortable or unexpected. And yet our expertise and mastery can close off our capacity for this openness. And openness is the entry point to wonder and to innovation. So think about that. Just consider that in your own experience. If you have attained a certain degree of confidence and knowledge and mastery, how might that be shutting off your capacity to be open? Now, this phenomenon is what I often reference as the expert trap, that over time you should be accumulating knowledge, and that accumulated knowledge can form a kind of invisible cognitive armor. You think about it, you've solved so many problems, you've seen enough patterns, and a part of your brain says, yeah, I already know how this works, or that's sort of been there, done that. So that's the danger, because in that moment, in that experience, curiosity kind of disappears from your thinking, from your making, and certainly from your ability to innovate. So neuroscientists, tell us that the brain is efficient. So when it sees something familiar, it stops firing off as much. It conserves energy, all of which is useful for survival, but may be dangerous for innovation. Because when you become an entrenched expert, that efficient brain starts closing the very pathways that once helped you see creatively and innovatively, that helped you see novel and useful solutions to meaningful problems. I hope that's kind of sounding familiar, right? So if that does sound familiar, what do you do about it? Do you take a little openness pill? Because here's the paradox. Every challenge you face, every moment, including this one, is genuinely new. You've never lived this particular situation before or never faced this particular challenge before. So staying open doesn't mean erasing all of your knowledge or the mastery that you have acquired. It means holding your knowledge and mastery lightly, so a fresh approach or perspective can still enter your awareness. Now think of this experience as sort of standing on the edge of knowing, standing on the edge of knowing where expertise meets wonder. Wonder, which is that experience that can dissolve our biased ways of seeing what is real, true, and possible. So the most resilient leaders, the most resilient creators I've had the good fortune to work with and interview and study often are not the ones with all the answers. They're often the ones who are masterful at asking beautiful questions. So try this. Maybe this week when you catch yourself thinking, yeah, I already know this, pause for a second and maybe ask instead, what if I didn't know this? That single question might reopen the neuronal gateways of curiosity, a place where new insight comes to life again. And by the way, if you get struck by imposter syndrome instead of the expert trap, then maybe that's really a signal that you're staying on the edge of knowing. At least that's what I'm wondering. What about you? If you found this useful, I hope you share it with somebody. Check out more Shots of Wonder at the Wonder Hub on Substack, and check out more good content at trackingwonder.com. Be well, and thanks for running with me.